domino. Oh, I say! Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Welcome to Transfer Deadline Day. I also call this Savva's Haircut Day. Friday, Savva needs a haircut. I look absolutely disgusting. Apologies, and there will be a haircut between this stream and the next stream, I promise. We are going to be welcoming Matisse onto the show very soon. If you don't know Matisse, you need to get to know Matisse, as my boy Mr. Box Office would say. A massive YouTuber from the world of Chelsea, on the Big Six, and works with Don Robbie from DRTV as well. So I'm sure you all know him. We'll be talking all things the transfer window. I'm going to start by saying, I'm sure some of you, Danny Kiriakou, thank you. Yeah, man, listen. Yeah, man, listen. Look at that. That beard line's meant to be there, Danny Kiriakou. Look, disgusting. It's getting sorted today. I'm going to start by saying I was on a stream last night and I cannot understand the number of people that are championing moves for players like Lloyd Kelly. I'm absolutely shocked at now how people are going, oh, well, if Postecoglou wants Lloyd Kelly, I want him. Listen, I'm going to bring Matisse in and then we'll go for a few comments and we'll talk all things transfer deadline day. Big up my man Matisse. How are we doing?
Brother, very good, brother. Very good. I've just finished off making a few little artworks there. But listen, bro, it's been a madness already for us. So we're looking forward to a busy day, man. I'm looking forward to it.
It's been a madness for Chelsea. I'm not sure at Spurs. Listen, I want to jump straight in. Listen, first of all, thanks for joining. I know 10 a.m. is not for everyone. There's some YouTubers I message and they're like, I'm in bed at 10 a.m., bro. Like, and I'm up and about.
We got to be uploading, bro.
Absolutely. Listen, for anyone who doesn't know Matisse, we're going to put his link is in the bio. Listen, he's got about 4 million subscribers anyway. But listen, get over there and subscribe to Matisse. Listen, I want to talk in general. This isn't going to just be about Spurs, but I want to start with it. Last night at about 10 p.m., Spurs were linked with Lloyd Kelly of Bournemouth. Now, Matisse, as a fan of a club that, listen, you might be in a bit of a transitional period at the moment and you're spending all your money, but as a fan of a rival club to the point of view that we're London neighbours and for the last sort of 10, 15 years, we've been in and around that fourth spot. When you see Spurs linked with Lloyd Kelly of Bournemouth, what does that say to you immediately about Tottenham Hotspur, our ambition and what we're doing as a football club?
Bro, I'm a be so honest. I didn't even really know too much about Lloyd Kelly like that. Like the other day, bro. I just don't. It's just not a name that stands out to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I hear the name, I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm a little bit perplexed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit confused. I know that you guys desperately need, for me, a centre back, and probably you could even say maybe a striker or a left winger, depending on where Son is playing this season. If he is vacated and moved to the striker position, because obviously we know, he's getting older, he's slowing down. He's not really someone that's taking people on, skipping past players, and he's a very good finisher. But you could definitely do with beefing up your team and getting a couple of deals done. But I also feel like, you guys don't have Europe. So if you do not get the injuries that, other teams are most likely to get, on top of the fact that you guys obviously now have removed another competition from before the Christmas period with the Carabao Cup, you might be okay. But we saw your second string and it's not the one.
Well, look, you touched upon it there, right? We're not in Europe the same way you guys aren't in Europe. And listen, you made wholesale changes for your cup game, but with all due respect, you were playing AFC Wimbledon. Spurs made 9 changes to play Fulham, a Premier League team that had got a point against Arsenal at the Emirates 3 days before. Were you surprised that Spurs made 9 changes and are out of Europe before the transfer window is even shut?
For me, I know it's Ange's first season and is potentially not too sure on the way it works here. But for me personally, that's a really bad lesson to have to learn this early, because you didn't even play like a championship team. you didn't play a League One team, and you could forgive him potentially, maybe, for thinking away from home against one of the lower league opposition, it maybe he might be able to get away with it. But against Fulham, come on now, like they're in the Premier League.
Yeah. It's not Leighton Orient away, is it? It's Fulham,
exactly.
a Premier League team who were in a European race last year. You know, they missed Europe by a few points. Like, they're not idiots.
Exactly. So I don't really get it from Ange. I'm trying to make an excuse here, but I'm not really getting one here. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, you don't have Europe. You need to always be trying to win a cup. If you're, for me, a top 6 or top 7 team, you should always, even Newcastle, I'd say you should be, trying to aim to win a cup. You got to the final of the Carabao Cup last season, try and win a cup. I don't think there's any reason or any excuse not to try and win a cup. It's a domestic cup. We've seen Portsmouth win it. We've seen Wigan. We've seen many teams go and win a cup, and it might even lead to a relegation with it as well. But if you get a good draw, we saw Man United last season. They got a great draw in the Carabao Cup. They got all the way to the final and won it. They didn't really play anyone particularly difficult. So I don't think it should be used as this kind of distraction for Tottenham. I think Tottenham should be prioritized and winning something for sure. I don't think there's any massive pressure on you to get into the Champions League this season. So I don't really see why he wouldn't try and take on both. I don't think
But apparently we used it as a training game to try and work out how good our B team players are. But listen, it is what it is. It's transfer deadline day, and once upon a time, Daniel Levy did a signing on deadline day by the name of Rafa van der Vaart, and it was one of the best signings in the club's history. And from that moment, Levy kind of got this this fake identity as, Levy time. And oh my God, Spurs are brilliant on the last day of the window. It's been poor ever since. We've got round to this last day of the window. We've got still only 2 good centre-backs at the club. So we're 1 centre-back injury away from Dyer and Sanchez playing. We've got no real goal scorers in the team in terms of volume goal scorers. I think we've got lots that will get 7 or 8, but no one that will really looks like they're going to get 15 to 20. Brennan Johnson this morning, Fabrizio Romano, said that the deal is close and they're talking about £50 million. That your face already has said it all. And other than that, Spurs are the only other player we're linked with. And I don't want to say concrete because a concrete link is a bid, right? A concrete bid is it is Conor Gallagher from you boys. So if we can start with Gallagher, first of all, from a Chelsea fan perspective, talk to me about Gallagher. Talk to me about the likelihood that Chelsea are going to let him go to another London club on the last day of the window. Do you need the money for all kind of the incomings that you've had? Talk to me about Conor Gallagher before Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I think with Gallagher, it's one of those players that already feels inevitable that if he's not going this window, he might go the one next summer, because we're always constantly trying to find the next best thing, it seems, with this ownership, whether it's up and coming players or it's Enzo Caicedo level. We're always searching for those under 23, under 25 kind of superstars. And I feel like Conor Gallagher, as well as he started the season, and he has started the season very well, and he shut me up because I was one of his biggest critics last season. I was saying, listen, this guy has just not got the level, whether he loves the club, wants to be here, that's all well and nice, but he's not showing the quality needed. I don't think he's vastly improved in terms of now. I think he's technically way better than I thought he was 5 months ago, but I think he's playing like someone who knows his limitations and he's keeping it simple. And that's something that he needs to do, because he's not a line breaker. He's not a, particularly impressive ball carrier or someone that's going to transform the way that we play. He's just someone that he has a decent, technique with his ball striking ability. He can maybe get you a goal, and he's got a lot of legs in terms of getting around the pitch, winning interceptions, counter pressing, winning the ball, and then it creates a potential opportunity via that route.
Maybe an Ange type player with those skills you just mentioned there at the end in terms of getting around the pitch and breaking up play. And I'm clutching at straws. I'm clutching at straws here, Matisse.
Would I spend 50 potentially million on him? No. But can I see why Premier League managers would want him and would really like him? Yes, because he has shown at Palace and he has played at West Brom. He's got a lot of experience in the league. But for me personally, in terms of spending that kind of money, I don't know if he's going to necessarily start for you as well when Benton calls back. You've obviously shown Sarr, Skip, not to get more Basuma, if anything, the quality in that triangle. And then Bentancur to come into that. I'm not really sure where Gallagher's actually playing unless you guys are changing your formation and your system. Obviously, I know in AFCON you're going to lose Basuma and Sarr. So then there goes an opportunity. But in terms of actually when everyone's available, is he starting? I'm not so sure. So it's quite an interesting one where you'd spend that kind of money on a player that potentially won't be starting. I personally feel like I said, I feel like your priorities are needed in the striker department or the left wing department, or they're needed, even as another centre back, because I saw Sanchez play and I saw Dyer could still get an opportunity, and if Romero or Van der Ven was to be injured, the guy coming in is not exactly very impressive. So I feel like it's a bit of an interesting one. I'm a bit surprised you're spending your money this way, and I'm definitely surprised if you get him and Brennan Johnson. Now I'm like, what's going on?
I mean, most of it, and listen, I've got a super chat in a minute, which does ask you a direct question. So we will use that as a segue in a minute to get into Chelsea. But look, Spurs at the moment, we don't have any homegrown players really, Matisse.
Okay.
Like a lot of our homegrown players, we've got 3 goalkeepers that are homegrown. All are not good enough to play, right? Let's put it this way. We've got players that other clubs I wouldn't expect that they really know. If they did, it would be weird why they would. We've got like Brandon Austin, Alfie Whiteman, and then Fraser Forster, obviously everyone knows. There's 3 of our 9 homegrown players. The other ones are players like Ollie Skip, who I don't know if I see a massive future here. You've got players like Tanganga, who's this morning agreed terms to go on loan to Augsburg with a sell-on fee of £6 million. That tells you how good he is. Other than that, the only real homegrown player you've got that you can see an actual future for years at this club is James Maddison. Other than that, it's Ben Davis, who's getting older now and been here for like, it feels like 100 years or something. I don't know. He's been here forever. So we need homegrown players. But I was having this conversation last night. Just because you need homegrown players and you've run the club badly to the point where you need that and nobody's worked this out, doesn't mean for me that we should start foregoing quality. You can't just go, oh, well, hang on, Brennan Johnson at 50 million, Gallagher at 50 million. Let's spend 100 million because they're both British. It just feels so strange, and it feels like there's lack of planning there.
Yeah, it does because if you're gonna get homegrown talent, go and get homegrown talent that's gonna improve your first 11 and that's gonna kick you on. It's strange. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something that it's not gonna send shivers up the spines of the rest of the top 6. That's for sure. So I'm a bit puzzled, perplexed. If you need a centre back, and obviously, you're looking at the homegrown quota, there's actually quite a lot of young English centre-backs coming through right now that are of really good quality. You look at like a Mark Gurhey, you look at like, all of these guys, there's options out there. So, and then you take a look at the striker in the left wing department, maybe Ollie Watkins is too tough to get done now, but, there weren't and still maybe options there. But I don't know. I feel like Tottenham with those 200 million as well. I'd be shocked. I must say, especially because we don't do business together. As we don't do business. Daniel Levy's always refusing to do business with us, whether it be Luka Modric in the past.
Daniel Levy's refusing to do business with anybody unless it suits Daniel Levy. I wouldn't take that personally. Daniel Levy. But the thing is as well is I think it's all about optics as well, right? It's all about optics. Now, I get why I was one of the people at the beginning of the summer that said Harry Kane wants to leave. Like, if anyone can't see that, you're mad. Bayern Munich's one of the biggest clubs in the world. I know Spurs fans buried their head in the sand. Why would he go to Germany? It's a rubbish league. He wants Alan Shearer's goal record. None of that matters. Bayern Munich are massive. Kane wants to win. But the optics now are Harry Kane's gone for 100 million. And then what we've done on transfer deadline day to set that aside is Brennan Johnson and Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind Conor Gallagher. I don't mind Brennan Johnson. But neither of them, Matisse, set my pulse racing. Neither of them sit here, make me go, God, that is well exciting. Like, that is, get me down to the lane to watch these, that last thing on Spurs, I would say, is it a massive lack of ambition when you look at, we bought in Solomon on a free, a 17 million goalkeeper from the Serie A. We bought in Ashley Phillips, like 3 million from Blackburn, who can't get in the squad. Valise from Argentina as a 15 million young striker. Other than Van der Ven and Maddison, is it underwhelming what's going on at Tottenham?
For sure. I think, if anything, the business that you did under Paratici, at least, with Destiny now coming into the team, SARS coming to the team, Basuma, we didn't see too much of before, now coming to the team. If anything, there's a foundation there that you've secretly built that we didn't really know you built, because a lot of these players weren't involved last season. You've now brought in Maddison. So I think Maddison is the one I'll take out of this summer, which I'm like, that's a Tottenham serious signing. That's a player that elevates Tottenham's team. It's a player that, everybody's saying it and they're right. It's an Eriksen replacement that should have come a long time ago. It's exactly what Harry Kane could have done with all of these years. And it's somebody that Tottenham needed a long time ago. But in terms of, you've got this secret kind of foundation that's been built by Paratici. Now it's time to add to that. Van der Ven maybe looks like a good player as well. But early days. The goalkeeper had a couple of good performances. I was very impressed with him in the last game. Early days as well for him. So the transfer business looks a bit mixed, but I think the way that the window is coming towards an end, I don't think it's obviously, if Big Ange is kind of, if he's signing off on it, then you got to believe in him, I guess, because of the history that he's got with recruitment.
Is he signing off on it though? Because we're now so I say 24 hours. That's a complete lie. We're now 11 and a half hours away from the window, and just going, hang on, man, I need. What's he call everyone? Mate, I need bodies. Like, he must be like that. Listen, I will get to a couple of super chats. What I first will say is there's over 865 people in the chat at 10 in the morning. No one's got a job. I love it. Or they've got a job and they're not doing their job and they're watching us. Smash the like button, people. Over 860 people, only 176 likes. No subscribers added to the show. Come on, people. Show the love. It's transfer deadline day. I'll get some super chats just quickly. Noises coming out of the likes of Ornstein, Damasio and Romano. One, that apparently Fulham have put a bid down for Højbjerg. I don't know. I've not seen this concrete, but apparently Fulham have put in a bid for Højbjerg, which will probably tell me that means Paulinho is going to Bayern Munich. If you're a Fulham fan, you'll be well upset if you're dropping from Paulinho to Højbjerg. Yeah. But as a Spurs fan, I think that makes sense and it paves the way for Conor Gallagher to come in, and I'd rather Conor Gallagher. Reguilon looks like the deal's about to be wrapped up. All in place for a loan move to Man United. I hope they know what they're getting themselves in for. Tanganga is on the move. Klopp has come out again and said that Mo Salah is going absolutely nowhere. Coutinho's going out to Qatar. And other moves and apparently the Bakayoko deal to Brentford is off. All reports this morning saying that deal is off. I'll bring you more on that. I sound like Jeff Stelling. I'll bring you more on that if I get it. But at the moment, they're saying that sounds off. Got a super chat here that is aimed at you. Dejan123 with a lovely picture of the ocean has said, Matisse, are you happy with Chelsea's transfer window? Now, Matisse, I'll add on to that and say, it must never be boring as a Chelsea fan. You must, as far as I know, you've had like 12 in, 11 out, I don't know, something like that. £1 billion spent in the last two windows. What's going on? How happy are you? And is it all going to come together nicely? And what do you make of our ex-mate Poch?
I think I am happy with the window because we cleared a lot of players that needed to get cleared. We cleared everyone almost now. I'm thinking that needed to get cleared. Even in the last couple of days, we've had Hudson-Odoi, we've had Lukaku. The only couple of players that people are now looking for clearance that haven't happened is probably Trevor Chalobah. Purely because, not because we don't rate him, but because we've got too many centre backs. And then Mark Cucurella again, too many left backs. And, that move to Manchester United collapsed, whether it was our fault or they changed their mind, not ideal. Because we don't want to have an over bloated squad like we did last year. So there's a couple of players on deadline that we're looking to remove. But for how much players we needed to get rid of and for how much the wage bill needed to be trimmed, we've done a great job at that. Now, the one thing I will say, the £20 million bid rejected.
This needs to hang on. I'm just trying to see. Sorry, just quickly. Sorry, Ash, you sent me a WhatsApp saying, Fulham, Jay Burt of the Telegraph, who's got one of them little medals with a number 1 in it. I love this. This was never a thing when I was growing up. Saying Højbjerg, a bid has gone in for Emil Højbjerg, and Adam Leventhal of the Athletic, has, or is he of the Athletic? Or the Athletic have said that Bournemouth have rejected a £20 million bid for Kelly, not met the valuation, long-standing interest. So long-standing, we waited until the last 12 hours of the window to make a bid, which remains active, not being able to replace another key factor for Bournemouth. I mean, we'll come to it in a minute, Matisse, but if you bid for someone's player in the last day of the window, you can't expect them to just go
premium.
Oh, mate. Sorry, as you were. Sorry, mate. It's deadline day. It's mad.
100%. You're gonna have to pay premium on him if you're gonna get him because it is deadline day. But in terms of our side of things, I feel like there is a lot of players coming in. It's more players than I would have wanted personally. In terms of, I wanted to keep it to a bare minimum because we made a lot of adjustments and signings in the summer. Then we picked up a few injuries that we wasn't really expecting, and then we had to go again into the market. But I do have a few good points and a few concerns. I think my good points are the fact that I think the recruitment team, since they're coming in January, look like they're really going for players that are going to elevate the team in the long term. The Lavias, the Caicedos. I'm even happy with the move for the likes of Jackson as well, where we usually go for a big name striker. We usually go for someone high profile, spend a lot of money on a Vlahovic or someone. This time we've decided to actually scout and to find someone, and he looks really, really good on early signs. The things that I'm a little bit concerned about is, say, take a look at signing a Decisive when you have a Chalobah and then you haven't removed the Chalobah yet. And now we've got too many centre-backs, and it feels like a mistake that we've made previously where we didn't really need to make the move. Not saying that he's not going to be a good player for us because it's too early to tell. He's had a couple of errors here or there, but it feels like we've jumped the gun on something we didn't need to jump the gun on. And this will, if we don't sell Chalobah or we don't loan him out this window, this will go down as a move that we didn't really need to do, and it will go down as a reason why the squad is bloated for no reason. It didn't need to be bloated. And I also feel like, in terms of the Palmer deal, I like the player. I do think we've slightly overpaid. And will I look back on this in a few months' time and be like, good signing? I hope, because I think he's a good talented player. But he is. I don't think we needed to pay 45 million for him. I really don't. I think that was that was an overpayment. And now we've put ourselves in a position with him where you've gone from signing a player that kind of could have, done well, could have done decent, 35 million. It's kind of like a sweet spot. You've now put a price where it's like, he kind of has to deliver, has to play well.
Right, yeah.
You're not going to make a profit on that.
Can I ask you about that then? So, I mean, look, from an outsider's point of view, I'm not inside your club. I will slate Tottenham all day long because they're my club. I know them inside out, even though people keep telling me to F off down to the Emirates because I don't like bad signings. But hey, why not? I look at Chelsea and I think, okay, for all the money you've spent, I see what you're doing, right? You've completely done a whole rebuild in 3 windows, right? Most clubs take 5, 6, 7 years. Man, you haven't even done it since the Fergie days. Like, you have to do a rebuild. You've done it in 3 windows. My only concern from an outsider's point of view, let me know if you share this, would be that for all the money you've spent, have you really addressed that goal scoring threat? Now, I know you had on Kunku, and him getting injured is a huge blow because that is a top footballer. Yeah. But have you addressed that? And has that played into why you've got Cole Palmer as another attacking option? And do you expect in the last 11 and a half hours, to see a Vlahovic, for lack of a better term, like somebody else in the number 9? Do you expect to see that? Or are you done? I can't believe I'm saying it. Is the biggest spending club done?
We need to be done. I don't want to see a Vlahovic. I don't want to see anybody else coming in. Like, we're being linked with these, again, 17, 18-year-olds from Brazil or from wherever, and they're going to be part of the, Blues code group, or they're going to be staying out on loan at Corinthians, or, whatever it is. Cool. They're going to continue to keep dropping this 15, 20 million on these players for the long-term benefit. Now, I understand the plan. I do think that another thing I would have wanted or wished for is that the multi-club model would be further along if you're going to buy this many youngsters, because I don't think they can all go out on loan to Strasbourg. I think we could have done with a Portuguese club to send some of these players to. I also then, on top of that, as much as I understand how that works financially and how that improves the overall, kind of development path for the players, I don't like the fact that we're potentially now going to be a City group where we take over a lot of clubs and we hoard a lot of clubs, or we hoard a lot of young players, potentially killing a lot of careers. Because I do find it a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's unethical, but it's a little bit inhumane. That's what I'll say. I think it's a bit inhumane a little bit, the way football might be going, where you're going to own multiple clubs, you're going to own, and we've done it before. It's nothing new. It's nothing really directed at this ownership in terms of, listen, we've done business with Vitesse, not in an ownership way, but in a feeder club way. But we've definitely hoarded young players before, that's for sure. I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. And if I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I could understand why people would hate us for doing things like that, because I don't think I don't think it's
a lot of it is jealousy as well. Like listen, loads of people hate Chelsea right now purely because of the fact that you're going out and spending so much money. Yeah. I'll be honest, as a football fan, I look at it and go, God, it must be exciting. And I wish my chairman would have even, I would say, an eighth of the ambition of your chairman, but I don't even think it's an eighth. I think it's like 100th of the ambition of your chairman. Just quickly, a deal that we've had confirmed, it was confirmed last night that it might be off, and it now is off, is Taremi was going to AC Milan, and that's off.
Yeah.
I can't help but think there are a couple of clubs in this window. He may be 31, but the guy puts the biscuit in the basket, as my mate says, right? That's what my mate says. He puts the biscuit in the basket. I can't help but look at Chelsea, Spurs, right? I can't help but look at Arsenal as clubs that still don't really have a registered, and I'm not counting Richarlison. Listen, every time I see Tapping Tobes, the banter now, he has to own that because he championed him and Ndombele, and I won't let him forget that. I can't help but think a deal for Taremi, who apparently was moving for like 20 million euros or something. I can't help but think someone in the last 11 hours, Matisse, that you get 3 years of a guy that will get you 20 goals a season. Like, do you think he should be on the move somewhere? Like, someone in the Prem should take a look at this guy?
You are speaking my lingo, brother. I have been saying this for the last month. I've been saying, if there's someone that Chelsea should be looking at to add to their attack, it's this guy. And because we don't go under this new recruitment team for the last kind of few months since January, right? We haven't gone for anyone under the age of 25. The oldest players we've gone for, I think, are Sanchez and Decisive. They're both 25. This striker at 31 provides a good balance from an age perspective, doesn't block you from any future moves. It doesn't block Fofana. Dacho Fofano's at Union Berlin, Broja, Jackson. It allows them to develop. It allows them time to breathe and to improve, to get to grips with things. He's the kind of player that comes in. He's like a Giroud to a Tammy Abraham, an Aspilicueta to a Reece James. He guarantees you goals. He guarantees you assists as well. If you see his assist record in the Portuguese league for the last 3 seasons, twice double digits, 1-7. This guy, he also helps in terms of, he puts it on a plate for others as well. Bro, he's got no injury record, spotless, year running out of his contract, low wages. I don't understand how nobody has looked at this guy. Fair enough, not Chelsea, because we don't ever seem to go down this age category, but
can you see that? Look at his goals. Sorry, they might be a bit fuzzy. His goals in the last 4 seasons. This is just league, by the way. 22, 20, 20, 20. And his assists in that time is 11, 12, 11, 8. This guy is 30 plus contributions every single season. I don't care if he's 31.
Last season, he got 5 goals in 7 in the Champions League. He's actually slept on. Like,
and so he got 7 goal contributions in 7 Champions League games. That's mad. That's brilliant. I'm taking him. Just quickly, sorry, it's going to be a bit like this morning. I don't mean to interject. Loads of reports now. Prem Insider, a few of the lesser known reporters are now saying that Bella Kotchap to Dortmund could be off. And that Tottenham are now turning their attention from Lloyd Kelly to Bella Kotchap. Now, for as much as I hated the idea of Lloyd Kelly, give me Bella Kotchap all day long. I think this is a very good young player that I think you could build and grow into the team to be the successor to Van der Ven Romero when they're not fit, or bring them in during cup games. Bella Kotchap, Matisse, sorry, a bit all over the place, but it's signings going on everywhere. What do you think of Bella Kotchap?
I am surprised that he's not been moved on by now.
Right.
To be honest, I think he's a strong player to come in and be in that third spot. I don't think anybody that comes in is going to start if you're playing that back four. Van der Ven, you got Romero, but I think you need somebody who could potentially go in and do a solid, proper job when they deputize for these guys. Better than Eric Dyer in the centre back position. Never liked it. Said it from way back when I was arguing with Tobes about this Eric Dyer situation at centre back. I think he was kind of.
Did he rate him as well?
I think he agreed, but at the same time, he had a good season, so he wanted to let him off and give him another chance. I said, you don't give him another chance. You sell him now while he's kind of in and around the England squad. Get rid of him now because he's still not good enough. He just had a good moment, a good patch. And Sanchez, Davison Sanchez, I'm almost shocked how bad he's been for you because he's come through Ajax. I thought, he's going to be another one of those technically astute centre backs. And no, he has been god awful since you signed him. Should not still be at the club. Just horrendous defender for you guys. So I don't even have the vocabulary to express this one. You guys, this is an upgrade on those two. So it's an improvement for sure. It's definitely an improvement. It's a steady body in depth position. Maybe even can at one point look at displacing if anybody starts to drop off in form or show complacency. I think immediately though he goes into the depth chart for you guys.
Yeah, big up Kate. Says, Savva, it makes me laugh having your partner in crime today. I love that. He's got nothing to worry about. They spent over $1 billion. We're going for scraps. Yeah, listen, very, very different clubs, aren't they? Very different club. Big up to Charlie as well. One of my main men said Chelsea 25 million bid for some 18-year-old for Club Bruges. This is what you do. For us, 25 million bid is a big bid. For you, it's like, who's that 18-year-old? Yeah, we'll just go and grab him and drop him into the squad. Couple more questions for you, Matisse. I've got some super chats. But guys and girls, there are exactly 1,001 people inside the house. And we're, as my man Rance would say, we're not paying our rent. There's only 290 likes. Smash the likes. Matisse and I got out of bed especially for this. Transfer deadline day. We're going to keep you entertained for a while. Please smash the likes. Peter Killick has become a YouTube channel member. Big up to you, Peter. Thank you so much. As always, we'll have channel member-only shows every couple of weeks. Bit more like a little bit of a vent and a rant and everyone getting to know each other in the background. So thank you so much, Peter. If I look in my YouTube studio, David Shire has also gifted 1 channel membership to somebody. So thank you so much, David, for that. Tigaro, the single parent theory, said, I honestly believe that there will be a nice surprise or two before the close. There are machinations at play that we and all the ITKs don't know about. Tigaro, I'd love to believe you, but don't forget, me and you have got a bet for charity that Richarlison will score 20 goals or not. Just remember that, Tigaro. Remember that. Always a big supporter, so thank you. Nana Hotspur has said, Ornstein said that Ange, let me start again. Ornstein has said that Ange turned down Fatty because he wants, I believe that's meant to be Brennan Johnson, right? Let's go with that. All the rumours are that we turned down Brennan Johnson because apparently we wanted to add in a buy clause. Barcelona didn't want it in. But listen, that's done. I'm over that one now. We move on. And whatever happens today, happens today. Espen Anderson has said, do you think Levy thinks he has satisfied the fans by appointing an attacking manager and he feels he can hold back on further transfers? Let's talk about this in a second. I'll come back to this one, Matisse. I'd love to get your opinion on that. And Scouting for Signings has said, another lovely picture of a ship or whatever, a cruise liner. I think that's what it is. Has said, morning, Savva. Keep up the great content. You saved me many days when working from home. What was our transfer window activity like before ENIC, is that meant to say, before my time? Just quickly giving you a snapshot of before. A very different time because before ENIC, transfer windows weren't 7, 8, 9, 10 players coming in per window. Transfer windows might have been 1 or 2 players coming in. There was a photo with the manager on the pitch with those 2 players in like a Match or a Shoot magazine, if anyone remembers them. And everyone would go, oh, brilliant. And you found out by teletext. Right. I remember finding out about Klinsmann by teletext. Nowadays, it's just gone a bit hectic. But listen, I hate the owners. You know that. And I hate them. Anyway, this is an interesting one.
Understandably so.
Yeah. Listen, absolutely. And Stuart Anderson has just become a channel member. Big up, Stuart. I did see your message to me on Instagram today. He said to me, Savva, if I was you, I would forget today. Nothing's happening at Spurs, blah, blah, blah. Listen, as a Spurs YouTuber, this is my day. This is my day, Stuart. I'm not having a day off. But big up to you. We'll be back at 2:00. We're not going anywhere now, but we'll be back at 2 to 5 for a transfer show. And then Sean, Henry Wright, and myself are going through 6 hours from 6 p.m. through to 12.
Wow.
2 hours on each person's channel. And we're going to keep everyone updated, and there'll be things happening.
I love that.
And I think that's that. This is an interesting one. Spurs fans, we can't lie. We've been crying out Matisse for an attacking manager. We've had Nuno, Conte, and Jose. We're crying out for it.
Yeah.
Do you think that then allows Levy to go, well, hang on. I've given them exactly what they wanted. They've got an attacking manager. Screw you in the transfer market. Or do you just think it's Daniel Levy doing Daniel Levy things and not being very good in a transfer market?
I think Daniel Levy's got a lot of he's very stubborn, and you'd think he owns the club the way he rolls. I can't lie. Like you would honestly think he's the owner of the club, but he is an employee. And I do think sometimes he lets his own kind of reputation, or the reputation he wants to have, kind of that ego potentially it come at the cost of Spurs, because there are deals to be done. There are things that are in the best interest of Spurs. Like I said, for me personally, was getting that money for Harry Kane. And I think they should have got more money for Harry Kane. But, in the end, because of, what's happened over the last couple of years, they've ended up getting, I think it was 100 million euros in the end. Should have been much more for one of the best strikers in the world. But sometimes Levy doesn't bring in the money he's meant to be bringing in just due to the ego or the arrogance. And I think that's costing Spurs in the market. You guys are a club that, you do need to cash in when you need to cash in, reinvest that into the squad correctly, and then kick on. And it can be done. But if you're not going to, the sales for Tottenham over the last few years outside of Kane has just been non-existent. Shocking. Exactly. And then in terms of the managerial appointments as well, they've never matched up with the line of thought process in terms of the recruitment. He wants to bring in young players, maybe potentially to improve market value, kind of what Spurs have been successful with under Pochettino, but then he's brought in the Contes, the Mourinhos, and the Nunos. So he's never really, it's not really making sense. If you're going to get those guys in, you have to absolutely back them to the hills. And what they want is ready-made winners, experienced players that are going to get a job done right now. So I feel like Levy is caught between a crossroads where he doesn't really, he wants to do one thing and then he does the other. So it's been a bit of a mess. I think you could definitely do with someone with a clearer mindset and a clearer kind of rubber stamp pathway of what they want to do top to bottom in terms of on the football pitch, but also behind the scenes as well. Because I think you could be better. How long it took for Paratici to leave was also a joke. That was something that was so evident needed to happen as soon as what came out in terms of, his legal proceedings and the fact that he wouldn't even be able to scout or to do any sort of business in Italy where he's there.
Shocking. And he's still there. He's still there.
Bro.
He's still there behind the scenes. Just quickly, there are 1,012 of you in here. You're very welcome for being here. I hope you're enjoying the content, and it is free. It's absolutely free, this YouTube game for you lot. Just smash the like button is all we ask, and it really does help YouTube creators. Phil P, one of my favorites. Phil, you owe me a Nando's, mate, because you were meant to get me a Nando's when I hit 10K and we're nearly at 11K. So you owe me a Nando's. Has said, question, did Savva and Matisse get out of different or the same beds? Sexy either way. Girls and ladies and gents, giving them exactly what they want. I'm not sure about that. Maybe Matisse is bringing the sex appeal. I'm bringing fluffiness, and in an hour's time I'm going to get my hair and beard done and massage and all of that before my manic day. I don't mind admitting it. I have my nose done, I have my ears, I get it all done. I'm old. Just before and I am, as I said to someone last night, this line on my head I had before the transfer window. This one that's starting there is purely through this window. Fabrizio Romano has said Spurs and Brennan Johnson almost there as reported earlier. Matisse, right, I know we talked about this earlier in the chat, right? I don't know why. And I hope he does well. The same with any signing. I hope he comes in, does well.
Same for my club.
I just, reading that, I can't get deep inside my stomach and have that butterfly feeling of, I just can't get excited by it. What is wrong with me?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with you, bro. Like, we were linked to him as well. We were quoted 50 million and we were all kicking off. We were like, this doesn't make any sense. There's absolutely no need for us to be doing this. He's not worth that. I don't even think he's not even, I'm not even going to say I don't think. He's not the best attacker at Nottingham Forest. He's not. They've got Gibbs White. They've got the striker that's banging it in every single time he comes up against top opposition. Like, I don't understand this. This is a fee that if you make the move earlier in the window, I think it's slashed potentially in half, max it's 30. But because of how late it is in the window, Nottingham Forest is saying, right, you're going to take one of our starters, we're going to need to replace, or we can't replace, so we're going to charge you a premium. And clubs are not seeing that and getting scared and saying, actually, okay, he's not worth that. They're saying, actually, okay, fine, we'll pay your premium. So he had a decent goal tally last year. I'm not here to shit on him, but it's just, I haven't seen anything from him that is going to move me for a team higher up than where Nottingham Forest are, and especially a team that could potentially in the future be going up against low blocks and could be coming up against different challenges that Nottingham Forest face. I always, since I've been bitten by this, bitten by this problem before, it's always best to go for attackers that are coming up against the same issues, problem-solving, situations that you as a football club come up against. So if you're a top club and you are coming up against those low blocks, and you need to find someone, not necessarily from a top club that's coming up against low blocks, but somebody technically that you think can bypass those low blocks if they're in a lower league team, just depending on the position. But that's something that you got to look at, because you are going to come up against much different problems. The way you play and the way Nottingham Forest plays, polar opposites. So how he's thriving at Nottingham Forest is not necessarily going to apply to you guys. So I don't know.
We talked about this, Matisse, right? He plays for a team that transition. So he plays for a team that sit back, and so he plays for more of a Conte style system where he uses his pace to break from his own area or from his own half, and he's got loads of grass to run into. Postecoglou plays more of a high intense pressing game where we have the ball already camped in someone else's half. So it's going to be interesting to see. But my mate said to me the other day, if you are going to Nottingham Forest and you are going to them with 40, 45, 50 million, and you're coming back with an attacking player, that player needs to be a Winnie, the forward. That player needs to be the bloke up front where we don't have a striker. Right? That for me would be the better deal. I don't know if he's available at that price or what, but I don't know. We've already signed Solomon, who's a winger this window. Kulu signed. Now we're getting Brennan Johnson. I don't quite know what we're going to do with that forward line now. Brennan Johnson through the middle. Can you see any legs in that one? Or do you think he's definitely got to play as a wide man?
Shit. If he plays down the middle, then I'm about to see something I've never seen before. So
let's be fair, it's Richarlison. That's the only person. Matisse, you can go and play up front for Spurs instead of Richarlison. He's the worst striker I've seen for the last 15, 20 years at this football club. He is awful.
It does make for grim reading, Richarlison at the moment. He's 60 million outlay. He has to perform. Again, he's in that price range for you guys, especially where you don't spend, 60 million every day like we do. He has to perform. He absolutely has to perform. If he doesn't bang in minimum 15 goals, if he starts enough games up front, then he's been a bust. And maybe the only thing I've been saying that you could maybe do is move him to the left wing, because he did play out wide sometimes for Everton and for Watford, and maybe play Son down the middle, but you still need a striker then for Son if he was to get injured or just for depth. So I don't really understand it. I think you've got enough wingers as opposed to strikers, but especially when Richarlison and Son, in my opinion, can play out wide. I don't understand this move, and I have never seen Johnson play up front to think that is an alternative at all.
I'm clutching at straws here, mate. I don't understand because if we've bought Brennan Johnson, because that is, somebody said to me last night on a show, stylistically, love that. Stylistically, this is the player that Postecoglou needs with the pace, that kind of skill set from Johnson. If that's the case, I just don't know why we then bought Kulu, who is the complete opposite to that skill set. But hey, it is what it is. Just quickly, Paul O'Keefe, I'm not sure Chelsea fans might not know this is somebody who's very well respected in the Spurs community, got links to the clubs. gets a lot of the information right. He does get some information wrong as well. Has said any move for Conor Gallagher from Tottenham is entirely dependent on Højbjerg leaving the club. A move for a centre-back is also dependent on Sanchez or Dyer leaving Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this is where the dominoes happen, right? You've got Bayern Munich who want Paulinho. Well, let's start even earlier than that. Ryan Gravenberch has left Bayern Munich to go to Liverpool. Bayern Munich want to replace him with Paulinho. Fulham want to replace him with Højbjerg. God knows why. Højbjerg isn't fit to lace Paulinho's boots. And then Spurs will want to replace Højbjerg with Conor Gallagher. Do you see all four? One of those things has happened so far. We've got the Gravenberch. Here we go. Yeah. Do you think the other three things drop into place?
I think my gut feeling tells me no. I think you will potentially see Paulinho go to Bayern if they put up the money, which is always an if, because, you know, Bayern Munich, and you guys will know, they've taken their sweet time negotiating for Kane. And then, of course, you know, in terms of bidding for our players with Chalobah, they're not coming with any concrete bids. They're trying to do loans. So, but then they've shown with Kim Min-jae, they got the money. So they're very kind of dependent on the target. I think Paulinho is an absolutely brilliant signing for Bayern Munich. I think it's absolutely needed to balance out that midfield with Kimmich. I don't think Goretzka's that impressive. And I think, you know, Gravenberch was already complaining with the lack of minutes. So I think it's a side that they should be shelling out for. Fulham were never going to improve on Paulinho. So Højbjerg, you know, comes in and you know, goes back to maybe the level that he should be at anyway.
He'll do a job for them, Matisse, right? Listen, they'll love him. He does this a lot. He beats his chest. He celebrates tackles. I feel like on that small kind of Craven Cottage pitch, he will do them a job. Yeah. But you'd be gutted as a Fulham fan, right, that you've gone and scouted Paulinho. He's a beast. I think this guy's a top DM. Yeah. And then you're going from him to a guy that can't. I mean, I don't know. You obviously you've seen Højbjerg play. Looks like he's running in treacle most of the time. I fancy myself in a foot race against him, and I'm 40. You'd be disappointed, wouldn't you, if you're taking that drop from there to there?
Oh, for sure. But this comes with part and parcel with being in mid-table. You know, if you do some brilliant work, people will notice and they'll pay premium to take that off you. So
the food chain.
But the one that I don't think will get done is the Gallagher one. I don't think you're gonna pay enough. I mean, maybe you will, but I don't think you're gonna pay enough to just about force him out of Chelsea, especially that Chelsea-Tottenham relationship. And if you do, I think Conor Gallagher might reject you, because the thing is with Gallagher, he seems to be a big Chelsea fan. You know, he's grown up with the club from young years. He was open to the Newcastle move if they come in January. He is open to, you know, going if he's going to be forced out, if Chelsea are going to be absolutely, you know, rubber stamped on moving him on and there's no game time for you in the future, even though he started all the games so far. But obviously we've got injuries and now Palmer's coming as well. But I just can't see him in a Tottenham shirt. He captained us against Wimbledon the other day. I cannot see him. I think he'll reject Tottenham. If you do bid enough, I think he'll reject.
What about a loan? What about a loan? Does a loan not suit all parties?
No, doesn't suit us. Doesn't suit Connor. It might suit you, but it doesn't suit anybody else. Right. We need if we're gonna be moving Connor on, we need cold hard cash. And I'm talking. His stock's gone up really in a couple of weeks. And because it's deadline day and your rivals and we've got poor relations in terms of doing business, we're probably looking for minimum 50 million and maybe 50 million with add-ons. So, and even at that, I just think Connor will reject it. He's rejected other deals before where we've agreed a fee and he said, no, that's not the deal I'm doing. I'm gone. I don't think Connor will see himself as a Tottenham player. And I think he'll reject, even if you agree something. So I don't think that will happen. But the other ones, I think will happen.
Just quickly, Fab Romano has said in the last 7 minutes that Johan Bakayoko has told Brentford he's not joining them. He's going to stay at PSV and play Champions League football. I would watch that one, though. I think if a bigger club comes in, he'll be off, and he's a top player. And he's also said 3 minutes ago that Alex Iwobi to Fulham. Here we go. Deal agreed after negotiations collapsed for a Campos earlier this week. If I'm Iwobi, I'm over the moon that I'm joining relegation threatened Everton and going to Fulham, if I'm brutally honest. They've made some strange signings, but Fulham seem to make it work. They've brought in, what's his name? Played against us, Adama, no output Traore. They've brought in Willian. They've brought in Iwobi. But hey,
lost Mitrovic, lost Paulinho.
Yeah. I mean, and then they replaced them with like Jimenez. who listen, unfortunately, since the injury, he doesn't know how to score goals anymore. Still more than Richarlison. It's interesting, isn't it? And Matisse, obviously, let me know your time. I normally go to about half 11. If you do need to jump off at any point, honestly, mate, let me know.
I'll probably say maybe the next 10 minutes for sure. But
yeah,
no problem.
Sure, man. You're more than welcome. Listen, there are 1,100 people in the chat. This is absolutely crazy numbers. From 1,100 people, though, we have only had 3 new subscribers throughout the morning, which is absolutely shocking. Guys and girls,
that's horrendous, man.
Look, this is where we are, right, Matisse? 10,666. That should be nearer 11K.
All right, brother, let me, because you guys clearly not listening. You clearly not listening. 10 a.m. this show started. It's deadline day. It's deadline day. You need to show some love to Savva right now. You need to subscribe. I've seen the content. He's consistent. He's bringing it on a daily basis, giving you videos that are premiering. He's giving you streams. He's on other channels as well. The man is grinding. I need to see them subscribers going up. It's not an ask. It's a demand. It's a demand on deadline day that you do your due diligence and you subscribe to. Don't play with me, right? Don't play. Subscribe, people. All right, get it done. Come on, man.
Too kind. Too kind, Matisse. And the link is in the chat. And listen, some super chats have come in. Scouting for Signings has become a YouTube channel member as well. Big up to you, my man. As I always say, YouTube channel member only shows. We have YouTube community member chats, and you will get your comments read out before anyone else. Sometimes, though, please, if I do miss a comment, it's not personal. There are just, if there's 1,100 people in the room, the chats are going absolutely mental. So big up to you. Thank you. Perchy, one of my boys who I stream with, said big up, lads. Smash the like, guys. Going to be busy. It is going to be a busy one, Perchy, and I'm sure I'll see you on some streams later on today. Nana Hotspur said, just meant it seems and really wants Johnson. Yeah, he might seem to really want him. It is what it is. I'll get behind him. I can moan, I can bitch, I can cry. But once it's all done and he's signed, I get behind him. Santu, massive supporter of the channel, always has been. Just chucking in a €5 super sticker. Big up to you, my man. Thank you for all your support. And guys and girls, don't forget, in 2 weeks' time, during the international break, we will be doing another live 24-hour stream. So please look at that. That money will be going to the British Heart Foundation, who we raise money for every month. So please keep a lookout for that one. And if you don't know how hard it is to stream for 24 hours straight, try keeping your eyes open, watching a telly or a computer for 24 hours. David Shire has said, Awonyi kept Forest up. He is a beast. I would take him all day long as my centre forward. I'm not going to lie to you, David, and thank you for giving out free channel memberships to people. Foggy Foam, who has been a member for a month now, has said, Bella Kotchap, our option. Now Sanchez, Tanganga gone. Tanganga's gone. I've not seen anything to tell me Sanchez is. I don't think the football gods love me enough to make this deal happen. Please let Sanchez go and Bella Kotchap come in. And the last one is Scouting for Signings has come back in very generously and said, do you think our Deadwood will be solved by 2025 when contracts will have expired? Or do you think we will have recycled with new Deadwood by then? Listen, it is bad. We're going to be in this position next summer as well. Everyone's going on loan like they did last year because no one wants them. The worry for me is if you bring in the likes of Lloyd Kelly, that we are just recycling players that are not wanted with players that are also going to be back up and not wanted in a few years. So, yeah, I hear you, and that is a worry. And then another person who's very generous has come in, Tigaro, with a super sticker. I'm shattered now. And just putting in a super sticker. Thank you so much, Tigaro. Matisse, what are we looking forward to as football fans? Forget Spurs, forget Chelsea. What deals are we looking forward to seeing this window? Do you think there's going to be any that we go, wow, didn't see that happening? Is there going to be any big movements on this transfer deadline day?
It's tough, because I think Manchester United, we've clearly seen they got no money. So I don't think they'll be doing anything. I think Chelsea are done now. Manchester City with Matisse Nunes and obviously Doku, don't really see much more from them. Yourselves, we kind of know what you're kind of looking at in terms of your dealings. I don't think you'll pull up any surprises. I think the only fan base that will be looking at this and thinking, what maybe is Arsenal, because they have had a few issues with their injuries back in defense. I've been seeing a lot of people saying since the season started they don't have enough defenders. Maybe there's something from Arsenal, but if it is from Arsenal, I'd say it will be kind of like one of those opportunistic loan deals, because they
so
have
not
players.
like a Vlahovic, not like
Yeah,
Arsenal have signed Vlahovic and here's
yeah,
the difference between them in a title race or not, right?
yeah.
Not that
I,
sort of a deal.
nah, because I think they'll be taking a look and saying, they have timber that will come back, and they don't want to leave themselves with too many players in the long term. So I think it might be a short term, similar to Man United with the left back situation. They have that exit clause in January for Reguilon. I don't think there'll be any big deals with the big clubs. I think it's the middle field that you have to watch out for, because they are ever improving. Nottingham Forest, I don't know how many players they've signed this window. They're constantly, I'm seeing Ndidi, I'm seeing all of these links. So I think the middle field is where there's just chaos, because the thing is about the Premier League now is so competitive that you have to spend just to stay up. To stay up, you've got to spend a lot just to be sure in your mind that you've done enough to be in this league next year. That's the way it's going. The teams that were fighting relegation, that will probably finish about 13th, 14th, they're spending like Europa League teams. They're looking like Europa League teams. So that's the kind of quality that they're looking to bring in. So it's getting further and further down the chain, where the only teams that are not really able to compete are the Lutons, are the Sheffield Uniteds, Everton, who's got FFP issues. But most teams are operating like Europa League teams in this league. So I think that the deals down the spectrum are just getting more entertaining. You speak about Bakayoko, the talent that he is.
For sure.
Like that, these teams are doing good deals now. We've seen what Aston Villa have done this window. So it's getting entertaining down there. I'm not even looking at the big clubs anymore to do me an entertaining deal on deadline day.
Let me ask you then, Matisse, if we look at all the clubs in the Premier League, if none of the big boys, and let's be fair, I'm talking about Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, you've got to chuck United in there. If none of these clubs do anything, exciting on top of what they've done, I'm not talking about a couple of loans coming in, but if none of them do anything that you go, wow, is this title literally just going to Man City? Has anybody done enough in their transfer window to worry Man City in any way, shape, or form?
My gut feeling is no. I think Arsenal should be in the conversation based on last year, but they're doing a lot of tinkering, and I don't know how long it's going to take Arteta to put his kind of own personal Havertz proving point situation aside and say, actually, what I need to do is rebalance this team and get back to basics and do what I was doing last season and go back to putting Partey in the midfield, put Rice alongside him, give Odegaard the freedom as this right-sided 10, and just go back to basics. I think he's overcomplicating it too much. I think he's causing his own problem because he signed Havertz and now he's trying to fit him in. And I think it's very evident already that he's not really sure on Havertz, in my opinion. Now, maybe it will over time improve, but I've seen him play obviously as a striker against Man City. Fair enough, it was tactical. Now you've moved him as a left-sided 8. Everybody's talking about Bayer Leverkusen comps where he played as a right-sided 8. I'm not keen, I'm not really too keen on what's going on in terms of that situation so early. I'm like, you're already looking like you're trying to force this and it's not necessary, because you take him out of that team and you just put together Arsenal's strongest 11 and play the way you're playing last season with the addition of Rice. Timber's obviously injured, unfortunately, so you just go back to your normal 4. Arsenal are sweeping up again 85-90% of teams in this league, with a few little hiccups here and there, with little moments.
They will.
But they're making their own problems, in my opinion. If they take too long to figure out that they need to go back to basics, then by then Man City might be away with it. So outside of them, Liverpool, they've signed Gravenberch. He's not a 6. Maybe he'll be molded into one, but by the time he is at his young age, that will be too late as well. They still need centre-backs, minimum one centre-back. They're not going to get it, maybe. So Liverpool, I don't think we'll be able to do it either.
Isn't it worrying? By the way, it's worrying. There's nearly 1,100 people in it, only 500 likes. Smash that like button, people. It's absolutely free. Please subscribe to Matisse, subscribe to myself. We should at least be getting to 10,721 away from that. So let's do that. Look, I look at Man City and throughout the window, you've had, listen, you must see all the comments that come into your channel and when you're a guest on shows. People going, I don't know about City this year because they've lost Gundogan and they've lost Mahrez and Laporte. They seem to do this every year, don't they? They lose players, but Pep's talent ID, players like Matheus Nunes, players like Kovacic, players like Doku, they just seem to They just seem to get it right with Pep-type players. On top of that, do you think the worry for everyone else, 2 questions here. The worry for everyone else is, one, they normally start slowly. This year, they've gone 3 out of 3, and their next 4 games are like Fulham, West Ham, Forest, and someone else that they should probably win all 4. Yeah. Is the worry that they started brilliantly? And off the back of that, do you see Man City doing anything else today? Because lots of reports saying that they were after one more attacking player, someone like an Eze. Any legs in a kind of Eze to City move on the final day for you?
The thing is, if you're going for an Eze, Palace are going to charge you a premium because you're not giving Palace any time to replace. It's one of their key players. They've obviously lost Wilfred Zaha. Elise is injured at the moment. He hasn't been back in the Prem yet. I think September's is meant to be coming back in September, but not sure when. You're gonna have to pay minimum 70 million, and I wouldn't be surprised if they charge you 80. Like Crystal Palace are not really on this discount kind of thing, unless there's a little sneaky release clause for Elise, and even then they still manage to pull up some problems for us, and we keep it moving. So I don't think they're gonna get an Elise. I think they could be in for another attacker. Don't get me wrong. I think they could do with one potentially because of De Bruyne's injury, but I think they will probably come to the conclusion that, listen, if City don't like what they're seeing, they won't make the move as well. They're very happy to just go into the next window. They won't panic.
They really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody says we want 110, City being the best club in the world, don't need to go, God, we saw it with Declan Rice. They offered 85 million. And then the moment they went, not enough, City went, no, we're not desperate for him. Whereas Arsenal were like, hang on, we are desperate for this player, right? We're desperate for this player. Listen, Matisse, I know. Listen, you've given me more than that 10 minutes, so I understand if you need to jump. Just before you go, give me a few little predictions. Premier League this season, winners, top 4, and who's going down. Sorry to put you on the spot. Who's winning it? Top 4, and who's going down?
I'll send teams down first. I'm gonna send Luton, Sheffield United. I'm gonna send Everton down. And then winning it is Man City. Top 4. Can I do top 5? Because Champions League.
Go for it.
I'll take top 5. Just to sneak to the team in there.
You want to sneak Chelsea in? That's what you want to do, and you want to sneak Chelsea into 5th.
I just want one less fan base on my back. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, right. Yeah.
Because someone's gonna get their feelings hurt, so I'd rather just avoid multiple casualties. I'll say City 2nd. Arsenal at this current moment. I'm going to throw Chelsea 3rd because that's actually what I want to aim for. Whether it will happen or not, we'll see. But I want to aim for that with what we've done in the window. Then I'm going to put Liverpool. Then I'll put Manchester United. Maybe. It's tough. This is a tough one. Man United or Tottenham or even Newcastle.
See, it's difficult, isn't it? This year, it's difficult. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that have spent. But somebody's got to miss out, and then you've got Brighton and Villa as well. That I don't know. They had really good years last year. Yeah. Villa for me have made some really good signings again. The likes of I'm so excited to see Diaby in the Premier League. I think that's a player I think that big clubs missed out on. But listen, Matisse, I will let you go. I know you're a busy guy. Where can people find you? What content you got going on? Tell the people.
Big up, first of all. Absolute pleasure. And listen, guys, make sure you subscribe here because my man here is working very hard, Sav, do you know what I'm saying? And I can see it, man. The content is consistent. I love these channels that can come consistently and consistently on time as well. So you guys got to show love, man. 10 a.m. he's here every day. For me, MAH, you can find it on YouTube, 3 letters, subscribe there. I'm dropping a video in a moment. And I'll be active on deadline day. Don't you worry. I'll be here. If anything pops off, I'll be live in some capacity, I'm sure, at some point. So yeah, people have forgotten there's games tomorrow. And there's a game tonight, Roma versus AC Milan. I'll be on that as well.
Absolutely. Listen, get over there. The link to Matisse's channel is in the bio for this video. So please go over there, smash that subscribe. And I think we'll be doing a show together soon. I'll be joining one of your shows from this Monday, is it?
Yes, indeed.
From this Monday.
They've been fighting for London Clubs Carnage to be back, so they're gonna have to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to get what they want, man. Legendary shows coming back. Mad panel. Sav's gonna be on it, and it's gonna be Potts and Lawless. People have been begging for this, and I said, take time with this. Take time. We have to get the right representative. Bang, here we are now. We're ready to go. It's going to be mad.
Love it. These West Ham fans, they're a massive club. Now, listen, everybody else, I'm going to let Matisse go. I'm sticking around for another half an hour. Matisse, thanks so much, fan. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. Thanks, mate. Take care.
Thank you, bro. Big up.
See you later. Take care, man. Bye-bye. Big up, everyone. Please subscribe to Matisse as well. What a great content creator. Really good guy behind the scenes as well. Helps out the smaller channels like me. So it's great. Listen, where are we? I'll be able to get to a few more. Comments now. So where are we at? Let's have a look. So Brennan Johnson looks like he's coming in. All the reports are saying that it's going to be just under 40 million, 15 million with add-ons and bonuses. Lots of talk that Højbjerg could be going out to Fulham. Gallagher possibly coming the other way. Bids rejected for Lloyd Kelly. I would think the moment a club reject 20 million for a player like Lloyd Kelly, who has 1 year left on his contract, I am walking away. I mean, that is ridiculous. If we've got down, I'll say it. For any of you that saw me on a show last night, I was on a show with a guy called Jay. Absolutely everything I hate about Spurs fans. Seems like a nice guy, but the attitude is everything I hate about Spurs fans. It is all, everything's great. The manager didn't make any mistakes. We're doing brilliant things in the window. Every player apparently now is bought off data. Lloyd Kelly was one of our first choices. The owners are great, and it's just sort of like there's no debate there. It just gets a little bit meh. So it is what it is. But Lloyd Kelly, Pac-Man, yeah, listen, as a Man City fan, you can laugh at us. 20 million for Lloyd Kelly just really does seem a bit strange. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. We're flying today. This is going to be a very busy day for content creators. And I think people have to understand how much work goes into this. So it really, really does. We're going to go for another 21 minutes or so. And then I will be going to get a haircut. Not that you needed to know that. Haircut, food. And then I'm going to be going between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I'm going to have an hour break between 5 and 6. 6 to 8, we're on Sean's channel. Me, Henry, and Sean are on his channel. 8 to 10, we're on my channel. Me, Henry, and Sean. Sorry, Sean, Henry, and I is probably the correct grammar. And then 10 till 12, we're on Henry Wright TV, Sean, Henry, and I again. So we'll be seeing you through, and we'll be seeing what transfers happen. There's going to be a lot to talk about. And let's get to some comments, shall we? Let's get to some comments. Keep liking, keep subscribing. Let's be fair, guys. I won't ask for subscribers again till the end of the show, but that should at least be on 10,700, shouldn't it? That should at least be on that. Big up to the guy that won the shirt yesterday as well. That will be sent out today. John Bird has said, hi, Savva. Great, honest chat. I'm 65, still have my boots, can go on a free £200 a week. Listen, John, I would rather have you up front than Richarlison, and I've no idea what your fitness levels are like. You're 65. I'm all over it. Get in that team above Richarlison. One of the worst strikers I've seen at Tottenham Hotspur. I'm embarrassed he plays for my club. Taylor has said, winners Man City, top 4 to 7 is Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, Villa, Brighton, Brentford. Wow. Okay, so we've got a lot of clubs going in for that mix. Big up to you, Taylor. We have got a super chat here from, we know this fella, don't we? Here he is. Steve, if you want to join me a bit later, then please do. He said, I need Newcastle to sign a centre-back before the window closes. Do you think Gianluca Mancini from Roma will be a good signing? I think he's a solid player. I think he'll do a job. Is he the great big name that people want to see? Probably not, but I think he does a job, and we know he can defend. Roma have been very good defensively under Jose Mourinho. So let's see. Wheel X has said, United ain't making it. I back Ange. I back Ange. I just don't know whether I back the signings and the depth, especially at centre-half, if Lloyd Kelly is your backup centre-half. Angus has said, no one is beating us to second place. Yeah, you guys need to sort yourselves out, though, Angus, and fast. However, you could do that very, very quickly this Sunday against Man United with a convincing win. But you need to move very, very quickly. Where are we? The Demon Nat said, yes, London Club Carnage. Yes, it looks like I'll be replacing Tapping Tobes. I think he's got some other commitments. So I will be joining Matisse, Dan Potts, and Lawless for London Club Carnage on Monday afternoons. Watch it. If you've not seen it, Lawless is hilarious. This has just been sent through to me. Davinson Sanchez will not be signing for Stade Rennes. The 15 euro million asking price set by Tottenham was deemed too high. Daniel Levy, please get out of this club. How could just sell him 5 million, 8 million, something? He is awful. Get rid of this centre-half out of our club. He is absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. 15 million euros. I wouldn't give you 15 quid. He is crap. Ankit said, big up Savva. Follow you to all the other channels. Big up. Big up, big up, big up. Foggy Foam said, big up to Matisse. He's just left the show, but big up to Matisse. Really glad that he came on. Really good content creator. And I thought he had some really good opinions that came out today. CB has said, Sav, Henry and Tobes, the most decent Spurs fans on YouTube. Big up. Listen, you don't want to see my YouTube comments in the morning that disagree with that. I only woke up to one today calling me a CUNT, which is good. It's only one. So, you know, we can go with that. And I always take the screenshots and send them to the wife and go, here you go. And she's like, oh, that's nice. CB has just said, great content. Thank you very much. THSC X Kai has said, Savva, Paulinho to Bayern means Fulham will go for Højbjerg. We can only but hope. Start shifting these players out. Aziz has said, Savva on all the shows, you're a popular man. No, I just think what people want from other channels is a fan to come on that won't just blindly say Spurs are brilliant, every signing is brilliant, the manager's brilliant, the owners are brilliant. They know that I'll give a kind of rational opinion. Unfortunately, lots of fans aren't able to do that, as you've seen from the majority of Arsenal fans that enter a conversation. I've never seen a fan base with the lack of ability for critical thinking. But hey, hello, Arsenal fans. K-Band said, you're putting in the graph today. Transfer deadline day. We live in hope. Italy captain Leonardo Bonucci has joined Union Berlin on a free transfer, followed by Charlton confirming the signing of Tenai Watson. I don't know who that is. It just popped up on Sky Sports. Everton remain in talks with Leeds over the signing of Wilfried Gnonto. So that's an interesting one. I'm just checking Fab Romano. It's going to be like this all day. Fabrizio Romano has said Inter and Ajax are exchanging contracts as Davy Klaassen completes medical tests in the next 24 hours. He's set to be unveiled as an Inter player soon. It's an interesting one. Tuchel was confirmed Gravenbach to join Liverpool. He said he's wanted to go for a while. An offer came in. We discussed it. The outcome is clear. So Gravenbach, I mean, that's a signing, isn't it? Gravenbach. 30 million euros or whatever they paid for him. Kuvra said Lloyd Kelly could be the perfect Dyer replacement. Someone who doesn't play and we can't sell for 10 years. Mate, this is the worrying thing. This is the worrying thing. Absolutely the worrying thing. But as I said, watch the stream I was on last night. People convincing themselves that Lloyd Kelly is a great player is the terminology I'll use. And if Jay is watching who was on that show, dude, you had a mare. Great signing. Absolutely this. Go for Bella Kotchap. Now, I watch that player. That player gets me more excited. This is a player that I think looks really, really good. Tony Williams has said, Savva, big up. As with lots of people in the country at the moment, the current state of the economy has hit us all hard. Just want to say thanks for the free content. I could join. If I could join, I would. But thanks, Tony. Big up to you, my man. Listen, I'll always put it out. It is free. It is free. There's still 928 people in this chat. Only 568 likes. We should be on 700 likes. Smash that like button. Come on. And let's get this. Come on. We should be getting this. We should be at 11K. But let's get this to 10,700 as quickly as possible. Big up to a super chat from Crocodogs. Big up, my man. Where you been? How are you? Said, gonna need Ange to say the words. These are my targets. Ali Gold and the like saying these are Ange players, but not Ange himself. Names are underwhelming, but if Ange himself backs, then okay. I think the problem you've got, listen, thank you for the super chat. I think the problem you've got, Crocodox, is it's all well and good, but after he's always going to say these were my targets, right? because he's the manager of a football club and he won't want to say anything detrimental. He won't do anything to, kind of belittle the player. I just fail to believe, like you probably, that we've got to the last 12 hours of the window and Lloyd Kelly is our plan. I'm sorry. No offense to Lloyd Kelly, but there's levels to this game, right? Even Palace buying players like Guehi and Anderson, and we're going for Lloyd Kelly. It's just very underwhelming. Been speaking to Bournemouth fans this morning who say, yeah, you can have him. He's not one of their better players. You can have him. That's worrying, isn't it? Big up to Tigaro, the single parent theory. I said, I can't take this transfer anymore. I'm off to get some shut-eye. Wake me up when it's all over. Hopefully we'll have a happy Saturday down under. Big up to you, Tigaro. Go and get some shut-eye. Thanks for all your support, my man. Listen, when you wake up, the transfer window will still be open and Spurs will still be here. I'll be here. We'll be having some fun. Gary Officer has said, looks like Sanchez is not going. I know. It's infuriating. Just accept 7 or 8 million. They've offered 9 million euros. Just get him out the football club. What is so difficult about this football club? Why can't we do this? Big up to each and every one of you. Peter Simon said everyone knew Ange wasn't signing big names and is now moaning. No, Peter. No, don't try and do this hero. You're a better fan than everyone else. There's a difference between signing unknown talents and signing Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth. Please don't be that guy, Peter. It makes you look really stupid. There's a huge difference. If you're going to go and buy a 19-year-old from Spain or Italy that we haven't heard of, cool. Don't go and buy a 24, 25-year-old Lloyd Kelly that isn't a regular starter for Bournemouth. Come on, this is ridiculous. Callum Hudson-Odoi or Johnson? Odoi, I don't know. Very different players, but neither. I don't want either, if I'm brutally honest. I wouldn't want either. I'll get behind Brennan Johnson. We'll see what he does. But it just feels to me that it's going to be all pace and no actual technical ability. I might eat my words, but we'll see. There you go. Tottenham have approached Bournemouth with a view to a deal for Lloyd Kelly. Bournemouth's stance has always been they won't be selling a key squad member so close to the window closing. Our information suggests that Tottenham were offering Eric Dyer, but he has rejected the deal. Listen, go in for a player in the last 12 hours of the window and wonder why he won't join. I mean, it makes you laugh, doesn't it? Only Tottenham Hotspur could do this. Yes, 2 people now. Thank you, Proud to be a Geordie. I can always rely on you to lift the tone. Big up to you, Proud to be a Geordie. Musto said, come on, Spurs, do something. Strasbourg Steve said, I'm shocked that Stade Rennes would even want Sanchez, wouldn't even play for them. It's baffling, isn't it? Savva, Angus said, Savva, in your opinion, who do you think we should sign? Arsenal, for me, need a centre forward. And I think you need a forward. I'll go with that. I think you need, Pac-Man says, Savva, please never go down the Agal road. Your rationalism at what makes you class. I could never do that. I love Agal. He's a great content creator, but just a completely different one to me. There are fans that back their club through thick and thin. Great. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be true to myself, Pac-Man, right? I always like to think I keep a level head. I can't go on shows like these people and go, oh my God, Lloyd Kelly, he's great. Can't do it. I can't, Pac-Man, it's not in me. I have ambition. Any of these fans that are promoting these signings, some of these bad signings as, oh, Ange wants them. Ange has been given no choice at this stage. They have the Tottenham they deserve. I've said that for many, many years. People hate me for saying it, but they do. You can't champion bad signings or mediocre signings and then want your club to win things. You can't have it both ways. Chris Stoner said, apart from Maddison and maybe Vicario, I'm underwhelmed. Porro and Cooley weren't new signings. As for Johnson, bit average, 8 goals, 3 assists. What's he done? For me, I would say that Maddison and VDV are great signings. Vicario looks steady. The others are underwhelming. And Johnson, for me, is just pace. But we'll see. If he joins, which it looks like he's going to, I'll get behind him. I hope he does well. But for me, I like technical footballers, Chris. For me, I like people who are really good with their footwork, intelligent. I mean, if you're just going to be a pace merchant, as people say it, I don't know. I feel you can do better. Rufal Soft Games has said, generally never heard of Lloyd Kelly until yesterday. Did he play against us last week? He did play against us last week, yes. Been watching you for a bit now. Great work and good content, but only if you stop spamming about the subscription and likes, you'll get them if you keep it up. I don't need you to tell me what to do. This is my business now. If I don't promote my business, it won't happen. And for people that always say, oh, if you don't ask, people will just do it anyway. That's not always true, because when we don't ask for likes, the likes stay in and around the 100 and 150. When we do, they're at 600 like they are right now. So you're the same person who come and had a go at me because I dared to criticize Hong-Min's son the other day, aren't you? Shock. Angus has said, Savva, you should be on DR Sports. Yeah, they'd never let me on there. I don't think they'd let me on there, but hey, it is what it is. Jay reminds me of Sean Loves Nine. I think they're very different. I think, to be fair, I think Sean wants better signings. Jay honestly drove me wild with his lack of ambition and wanting such poor signings, and then trying to justify that these were all wanted earlier in the window. When let's call it for what it is. Anyone who thinks Lloyd Kelly was Angie's first choice, Spurs this year have had bids, have been in talks with Tosin Adarabioyo, Tap Sober, Nelson, Per Schurz, right? Lloyd Kelly wasn't at the top of the list. This is a panic buy for a player that has got 1 year left on his contract and is homegrown. That's what this is. It's a Daniel Levy easy deal to do. That's what he does. Daryl, big up to you. I said 50 million, including bonuses for Brennan Johnson, for Nottingham Forest, Brennan Johnson, a fall, and their money are easily parted. No bigger fall than Levy and Windows. I truly believe there was so many better players than Brennan Johnson for 40, 50 million. I do. Ben has said, Ali Gold saying he is Angie's number one target, yet we're down to the last day and we haven't really bid for him. Says it all. Well, this is the thing. People just believe what they're told. Angie's number one target, and everyone runs with it. Can't be his number one target. If he was the number one target, why wasn't he signed at the beginning of the summer before the likes of Kulusevski and Solomon and Madison? If he was the number one target. Big up Gordon Francis, who has subscribed. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very much. Hope you are good. Ash7 in the chat said, I can personally see why Lloyd Kelly was flagged up, to be fair. He's 6 foot. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Ash, stop doing this, man. Lately, you started really backing some poor signings. No. We are Tottenham Hotspur. Where is the ambition from the club and the fans? We're Tottenham. How are Newcastle? How are Palace making better centre-half signings than Tottenham Hotspur? It's embarrassing. Stop this now, people. Stop this. Come on. Please, can we get back to having ambition? Please. Listen, we are going to go for another 5 minutes, and then I'll be back 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So join me then. Stanikus saying Tosin didn't want us. Sure. Okay. Doesn't mean that Lloyd Kelly should join Tottenham. Apparently Lo Celso is injured. Listen, I would get rid of him as well. I think loads of people convinced themselves after a couple of 45-minute pre-season games that suddenly Lo Celso was reinvigorating this new player. He's been crap for years. Is he an upgrade on Deadwood we already have? That shouldn't be the criteria. It shouldn't be Dyer and Sanchez are here, Kelly's there, get him. We should go there. I'm not even talking about Vardiols. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about players like Sven Botman get sold. Guehi. And we're going in for, I can't do it. I can't do it. Danny Kiriakou, big up my man. It says, Savva, make it make sense. Gallagher and Johnson for 100 million. Liverpool signed Gravenbach for 34 million. Danny, because we have no scouting, isn't it? As I said, all these people, we talked about this late last night, Danny, all these people convincing themselves, oh, these were Angie's first choice signings. No, they weren't. We're not very good at it. Jimmy said Johnson is better technically than Son. I'll have a day off. Listen, I've criticised Sonny in the past. No, he's not. No, he's not. Please stop this. Please. This is where it gets silly. Jimmy, come on, you're better than that. Come on, mate. We are going to go for 5 more minutes, people. If anyone wants to get any likes or subscribes in, do it now. I don't know who this was aimed at, but yeah, get off the channel if you don't like it. Lloyd Kelly plays for Bournemouth, made 23 appearances last season. VDV was top of the list, followed by Tapsoba. Steph ACM has said, I love it when channels with no content try and give Savva advice on how to grow. Yeah, I feel like I've grown okay in 18 months, right? I mean, we're nearly at 11K after 18 months. That's not bad, is it? It's not too bad. Where are we? Kuva99 has said, amazing how we are linked with certain players under 3 different managers, but they're all players the manager wanted, eh? Bang on, Kuva. But you're not allowed to apply logic. Don't use logic. Football fans don't like logic, Kuva. Football fans like emotion and heart. Yeah, honestly, last night rattled me so badly. Do you know why I get rattled by people? When people say, keep your cool, you're getting rattled. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. I've got a low tolerance for stupidity and naivety. I've always had it. The sort of people that when you're walking down the road and people just stop when you're walking in front and you walk into them and you're like, why did you just stop? Why did you not look around? Why did you not look around at all? Oliver Ablett has said, I swear Fulham wanted Højbjerg, so why don't we go for Adebayo as a swap? Apparently he wants Monaco, right? Apparently he doesn't want us, but I don't know. Name a better English right winger for 40 million. Why does it have to be an English right winger for 40 million? Why does it have to be English? Just putting it out there. Sorry, why does it have to be English? Just saying. Listen, DJ Rampant, if you want to big up players like this, that's great. I've got ambition, you haven't. I'm a Tottenham fan. I want Tottenham to do really well. I'm not in this to buy mediocre players. I will not drop my expectations for fans like you that don't seem to have any. Alpesh has said, Savva, we have a pigeon up front, and now we are signing another turkey up front and another sitting duck and Kelly at the back. Listen, it's just what we do. It's just what we do. How many number 1 targets does Ange have? Every time there's a rumour for a new player, it's Ange's number 1 target. Bang on, bang on, bang on. Matthew, Savva, support Chelsea. Don't think Spurs is for you. You are negatively is too much. I mean, listen, Matthew, I can't accept criticism from someone who can't even write a sentence coherently. Listen, again, you've got the Spurs you want. When Spurs don't get better and don't win trophies, don't come back to me. You want these players, right? And all of this Savva support Chelsea. My friend, I've supported Spurs since 1982, right? So please don't come here with your bad English, your terrible grammar, and talking to me about going to support Chelsea. Go and watch another channel. Big up to you. Thanks for stopping by. Absolutely. Dyer is 6'4". Right, again. So now we're making things like, oh, but Kelly's big. So? Really, what if all these people who want, if all these people who now are championing Lloyd Kelly, I have not seen anyone mention this guy all window. Now all of a sudden we've got down to the last 24 hours, the last 12 hours of the window. It's Ash, mate, you listen, you keep. I don't know what's happened to you. You used to have ambition, and Lloyd Kelly. Even the Bournemouth fans are saying you can take him. He's not their main centre half. We're not going to Bournemouth. Like when Man City went and took Ake, he was Bournemouth's main centre half. Lloyd Kelly isn't even one of their best 2 centre halves. It was on Sean's channel last night. I just don't get the ambition, the mentality of these fans. We are in the mud. We are in the mud. We literally are championing really average footballers now. Let that sink in. We are championing average footballers. Alistair Gold's tweeted. Let's have a look at his tweet. Oh God, yeah, it's embarrassing. Alistair Gold, sorry, Alistair Gold, listen, it's embarrassing. Get your head out of the backside of the club for 1 minute, Alistair Gold. You're embarrassing. Feels like I've returned from abroad to a very homegrown Spurs transfer deadline day. All of these being sought at this point seem very much like Postecoglou players. Kelly has pace and can play it out from the back and has captain Bournemouth, blah, 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 blah. Go away, Alistair Gold. You're just egging on these fans with no ambition. You're just egging on these fans. It is absolutely hilarious. Listen, right, so I'm just putting them in their place because it's ridiculous. Howard, I can. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just putting out there. Howard, you can go as well. I don't need you telling me how to talk to my audience. See you later. Listen, I've supported Spurs for 40 years. If people want bad players, don't then expect success. Don't expect success and back a manager that drops 9 players. Criticize him for it. It's fine. Bang on. He didn't even get it right. This is what I mean. DJ, you clearly don't even know about Johnson because he's not English. He's part English, Welsh, and Jamaican. He represents Wales. Bang on. Paul, I am brutal because I'm so sick of this fan base wanting bad players. Another one. Savva is right. We shouldn't get someone just because they're cheap and English and decent. Bang on. We shouldn't. This shouldn't be what Tottenham Hotspur are. Listen, I am going to leave it there, people. I need to go and get a haircut. Paul Jones has said, Savva, I'd love to debate you. I beat that mug James O'Brien in his phone but when it comes to you, I agree with everything you say. So carry on speaking the truth. Listen, purely because I've been here, seen it, done it. I've seen these types of signings before. I've been here for, many of us have, year after year after year after year after year of hyping up average signings. And then people will go, oh, well, Daniel Levy, blah, 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 blah. Alex Gonzalez, listen, the man wants to come and attack me, I'll attack him. Don't try and be a hero. If he wants to come and attack me, I'll attack him. Simple as that. So off you go on your little white knight. Oh, you always do this. Oh, Savva said this. Listen, if you're going to mug me off properly. Right? Sorry. It is what it is. Kuva said, I think Dyer's only about 6'1", mate. I was just having a laugh with another comment. Still, he's over 6 foot tall was the point. Listen, it is what it is. I am going to go and actually, yeah, this is a good point. Yeah, Next Level English was slating me. Yeah, that's a good point. You see how two-faced all these people are. I come on screen and say it to people. Other people are like, yeah, that's very, very true. David, yeah, people don't like it. People do not like the truth. Big up to Paul Gartside, who said, great work, Savva. Big up to you, Paul. He won the shirt last night. It will be on its way to you soon. Jerome has said, aren't we supposed to be using a database like Brighton and Brentford? Why are we trying to sign those duds? Jerome, I have no idea what is going on at this football club, man. Like, we are panicking last day and then fans try and use it as a justification. Oh, he's good, he's quick, he's English. Oh, my God, it's embarrassing. Blame Dev, big up to you, my man. I said, morning, Savva. Big up to you. Fully support your views last night. Sadly, you can't please everyone. You know what? You can't please everyone. But you know what I will never do, Blame Dev? I will never, ever, ever give up my ambition to lower to people's ambitions of wanting average players. I'll never do it. I'm meant to be going to get my hair cut, and it is absolutely bucking it down. This is fun. Listen, I don't... right, let me call it for what it is. I don't mind Brennan Johnson. I don't mind him. It just doesn't excite me. I'm allowed to say that as a fan, right? It just doesn't excite me. So it is what it is. Dan Docker says some of our fans are idiots. Keep up the good work. Look, everyone's got a right to their opinion, sure. But when are these fans going to learn? If you keep hyping up average signings, this happens. We've done it. Let me give you a list of players we've done this with in the last 10 years. We did this with Janssen. We did this with Nji, Nkudu, Dyer, Davis, Sanchez, Roden, Jed Spence, Emerson Royale, Serge Aurier, Sissoko, Højbjerg, Lamela, Lucas Moura, Richarlison, on and on and on. We keep Ryan Sessegnon. We keep bigging up these average players. And then people will then, when we don't do well, start asking why. We'll stop hyping up average players. Absolutely, George. Look, Liverpool buying Gravenberch for 35 million euros or 35 million pounds. It's mad. It's mad. It is what it is. Guys and girls, I'll be back at 2 o'clock where I'm sure we'll sign some average players, and I'm sure many of you will want those players in the squad. Keep liking, keep subscribing, only if you like the truth. If you don't like the truth and you want to watch Chris Cowlin just say everything's great, feel free to jump over there. Big up to everyone. Much love. And a last super chat here from Floral Frog. Big up, Floral Frog. I know who this is. I said, keep up the good work, Savva. Thanks, mate. I'm always putting the idiots in their place. I always will. Just quickly, DJ Flippers. You can't put Lucas in the same boat. Of course I can. He was crap for years. Are you going to tell me because he got a hat-trick in a Champions League semi-final now that he's a great player? Listen, I agree with you on this. It goes on. We did it with Ndombele. We did it with Giovanni Lo Celso, Tanganga, Brian Hill. When are we going to learn? We keep buying average players. We keep hyping them up. And then fans like me get told I'm negative. Hey, is what it is. Much love. I am going to go. Need to get a haircut. See you at 2 o'clock. See you later. As always, come on, Spurs.